The crash. The twin suns of Novaris 7 cast long shadows across the barren landscape as Dr. Zira's escape pod plummeted through the planet's turbulent atmosphere. Warning klaxons blared inside the cramped cockpit as the alien scientist fought to stabilize her descent. Come on, Zira muttered, her four-fingered hands dancing across the flickering control panel. The pod shuddered violently, threatening to tear itself apart. With a bone-jarring impact, the escape pod slammed into the rocky ground and skidded to a stop in a cloud of dust and debris. For several long moments, silence reigned. Then, with a hiss of escaping air, the pod's hatch slowly opened. Zira crawled out onto the alien soil, her iridescent scales shimmering in the harsh sunlight. She blinked her large, multifaceted eyes, trying to clear the disorientation from the crash. As her vision focused, a chill ran down her spine. The landscape before her was a nightmarish tableau of jagged rock formations and deep crevasses. In the distance, ominous storm clouds gathered on the horizon. Not exactly a warm welcome, Zira said to herself, her translator converting her native clicks and whistles into comprehensible speech. She reached back into the pod and retrieved her research kit and emergency beacon. As she activated the distress signal, a low rumble echoed across the plain. Zira froze, her antenna twitching nervously. The ground beneath her feet began to tremble. From a nearby crevasse, a massive, segmented form emerged. It was a colossal arthropod, its armored carapace glistening with bioluminescent patterns. Multiple compound eyes fixed on Zira as the creature's mandibles clicked menacingly. Zira's scientific curiosity warred briefly with her survival instinct. The latter won out. She turned and ran, her powerful legs propelling her across the uneven terrain. The arthropod gave chase, its dozens of legs creating a thunderous percussion as it pursued its prey. As Zira vaulted over a boulder, her foot caught on a hidden crevice. She tumbled to the ground, crying out in pain as she felt something snap in her ankle. The scientist dragged herself behind a rock formation, her breath coming in ragged gasps. The arthropod's heavy footsteps grew closer. Suddenly, a new sound cut through the air, the whine of powerful engines. A sleek, silver craft appeared in the sky, swooping low over the barren landscape. The arthropod reared back, momentarily confused by this new arrival. The ship touched down between Zira and her pursuer. With a hiss of hydraulics, a hatch opened, and three figures emerged. They were bipedal, clad in form-fitting environmental suits. Zira had never seen their like before, but she recognized them from her studies, humans. The lead figure raised a weapon, firing a pulse of energy that struck the ground near the arthropod. The creature recoiled, then turned and scuttled back towards its lair. The human lowered the weapon and approached Zira, hands raised in a non-threatening gesture. "It's okay," a voice came through an external speaker. "We're not going to hurt you. I'm Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth exploration vessel Horizon. Can you understand me?" Zira nodded, her translator converting the human's speech. "Yes, thank you for your assistance. I am Dr. Zira, xenobiologist of the Galactic Science Academy." Another human approached, this one carrying a medical kit. "I'm Dr. Eli Reeves, ship's medic. You're injured. May I take a look?" Zira hesitated, then nodded. As Dr. Reeves began examining her ankle, Captain Chen surveyed the area. "This isn't a safe place to linger. That creature might come back, or worse. We should get you to our ship." The third human, a tall, muscular individual, spoke up. "Captain, we've got incoming. Multiple biosignatures, moving fast." Chen nodded grimly. "All right, change of plans. We're leaving now. Sergeant Jackson, help Dr. Reeves get our new friend to the ship. I'll cover our retreat." As Jackson gently lifted Zira, she couldn't help but marvel at the human's strength. Her own people, the Zinthari, were not built for such physical exertion. The group moved quickly back to the ship, Chen keeping watch with her energy weapon at the ready. Just as they reached the hatch, A chorus of shrieks filled the air. A swarm of winged creatures crested a nearby ridge, their leathery wings blocking out the sunlight. "Go, go, go!" Chen shouted, laying down suppressing fire as the others boarded the ship. She backed up the ramp, still firing, then slammed her hand on the hatch control. The door sealed shut just as the first of the flying predators reached them. Inside, Zira felt the ship lift off, the inertial dampeners kicking in to provide a smooth ascent. Through a view screen, she watched as the hostile planet receded beneath them. "Welcome aboard the Horizon, Dr. Zira," Captain Chen said, removing her helmet. "I think we have a lot to talk about." Zira nodded, her mind reeling from the rapid turn of events. She had come to this system to study its unique life forms, never expecting to become the subject of study herself. As the human crew bustled around her, preparing the ship for orbit, Zira realized that her mission had taken an unexpected turn. She was about to embark on a journey of discovery unlike any she had ever imagined. The Horizon broke atmosphere, leaving the dangers of Novaris 7 behind. But as Zira was about to learn, new challenges and opportunities awaited them among the stars. Cosmic convergence. The Horizon's command deck hummed with activity as Captain Sarah Chen studied the holographic display of the Novaris system. Dr. Zira, her iridescent scales now gleaming under the ship's lights, hovered nearby, her multifaceted eyes darting between the humans and the advanced technology surrounding her. "Quantum anomaly detected, Captain," announced Lai Wei, the ship's science officer. His fingers danced across the haptic interface, bringing up a swirling vortex of data. "It's like nothing I've ever seen before." Zira chittered excitedly, her translator struggling to keep up. "Fascinating. This could be evidence of the theoretical cosmic strings I've been researching." Chen raised an eyebrow. "Cosmic strings? You mean those hypothetical one-dimensional defects in spacetime?" "Precisely." Zira's antennae quivered with enthusiasm. "If we could harness their energy, it could revolutionize interstellar travel. Imagine folding space itself, crossing galaxies in the blink of an eye." Sergeant Jackson, who had been quietly monitoring the ship's defenses, spoke up. "Cap, we've got company. 3 vessels just dropped out of FTL on an intercept course." The mood on the bridge instantly shifted. Chen's eyes narrowed as she studied the approaching ships. "Configuration?" "Unknown," Jackson replied. "But their energy signatures are off the charts. They're putting out more power than anything in our database." Zira's translator crackled as she let out a low, warbling sound. "No, it can't be. The Vorthax." "Friends of yours?" Chen asked, her hand hovering over the ship's weapons controls. "Quite the opposite," Zira replied, her voice tinged with fear. "They're a race of techno-organic beings, part machine, part living tissue. They consume advanced civilizations, assimilating their technology and knowledge. My people have been hiding from them for generations." As if on cue, a chilling transmission cut through the ship's communications. A chorus of synthesized voices spoke in unison. "We are the Vorthax. Your biological and technological distinctiveness will be added to our own. Resistance is futile." "Well," Chen said with a grim smile, "they clearly haven't met humanity before. We specialize in futile resistance. Battle stations, everyone." The Horizon's engines roared to life as Chen executed a series of evasive maneuvers that would have turned the stomach of a lesser pilot. The Vorthax ships, massive constructs of twisting metal and pulsing organic matter, gave chase. "Their weapons are charging," Jackson called out. "Shields up," Chen ordered. "Wei, what's the status on that quantum anomaly?" The science officer's fingers flew across his console. "It's growing, Captain. The cosmic strings are becoming unstable." Zora's eyes widened. "Captain, I have an idea. It's risky, but—" "At this point, Doctor," Chen interrupted, "I'm all ears." As Zira quickly explained her plan, the first volley from the Vorthax ships slammed into the Horizon's shields. The ship shuddered under the impact. Shields at 60% and dropping, Jackson reported. Chen gritted her teeth. All right, let's do this. Wei, divert all non-essential power to the main deflector. Zira, you're up. The alien scientist interfaced with the ship's systems, her four-fingered hands moving with surprising dexterity. We're going to use the deflector to emit a tachyon pulse directly into the heart of the anomaly. If my calculations are correct, it should create a temporary wormhole. Another blast rocked the ship. Shields critical, Jackson shouted. Now or never, folks, Chen said, her hands steady on the controls. Zira activated the deflector. A brilliant beam of energy lanced out from the horizon, striking the swirling quantum anomaly. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a flash that momentarily blinded everyone on the bridge, a swirling vortex of blue-white energy burst into existence. Holy Einstein, Wei breathed. It's a traversable wormhole. Chen didn't hesitate. She aimed the horizon directly for the center of the vortex and engaged the engines at full power. The ship plunged into the wormhole, leaving the pursuing vortex behind. The universe seemed to twist and stretch around them. Impossible colors and geometries flashed past the viewports. Everyone on the bridge held on for dear life as the ship was buffeted by gravitational forces beyond comprehension. Then, as suddenly as it began, it was over. The horizon burst out of the wormhole into unfamiliar space. Stars they had never seen before surrounded them. Status report, Chen called out, shaking her head to clear the disorientation. All systems operational, Jackson replied, sounding as stunned as everyone felt. But Captain, according to our long-range sensors, we're in the Andromeda Galaxy. A stunned silence fell over the bridge. They had just traveled over 2.5 million light-years in a matter of moments. Zira's translator struggled to convey her mix of excitement and terror. We've done it. We've proven that cosmic strings can be used for intergalactic travel, but we're so far from home. Chen stood up, her expression a mix of awe and determination. Ladies and gentlemen, and Dr. Zira, it seems our mission of exploration just got a lot more interesting. We've got a whole new galaxy to chart, and somehow we need to find our way back home. As the crew of the Horizon began to process their incredible journey, alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. Wei's console lit up like a Christmas tree. Captain, he said, his voice filled with wonder and fear, you're not going to believe this, but I'm detecting thousands of artificial structures ahead. It looks like we've stumbled upon a Dyson swarm. The view screen shifted, revealing a breathtaking sight. Countless megastructures orbiting a distant star, each one harvesting its energy on an unimaginable scale. Chen squared her shoulders, a glint of excitement in her eyes. Well, crew, it looks like we've got first contact to prepare for. Again, let's hope these builders are friendlier than the Vorthax. As the Horizon cautiously approached the Dyson swarm, Zira felt a surge of gratitude for these remarkable humans. In just a short time, they had rescued her, outrun a dreaded enemy, and achieved the impossible dream of intergalactic travel. Whatever challenges lay ahead in this unexplored galaxy, Zira knew that with human ingenuity and determination on their side, anything was possible. The greatest adventure of her life, of any life in two galaxies, was just beginning. The quantum nexus. The Horizon drifted silently through the outskirts of the Dyson swarm, its crew awestruck by the sheer scale of the megastructures surrounding them. Captain Chen stood at the helm, her eyes narrowed in concentration as she navigated the labyrinth of artificial celestial bodies. Dr. Zira, Chen called out, any luck deciphering their communications? The alien scientist's antennae twitched as she pored over the incoming data streams. It's unlike anything I've ever encountered, Captain. The signals seem to be alive somehow. Lai Wei's console suddenly erupted in a cacophony of alerts. Captain, we're detecting a massive energy surge heading our way. Before anyone could react, a blinding light engulfed the ship. When it faded, the crew found themselves in a vast chamber that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The walls shimmered with equations and symbols that moved and rearranged themselves constantly. "Well," Sergeant Jackson said, his hand instinctively reaching for a weapon that was no longer there, "I guess they noticed us." A figure materialized before them, or rather multiple figures that seemed to occupy the same space simultaneously. It spoke, its voice a harmony of countless tones. "Welcome, travelers from beyond the quantum veil. We are the Synchro Collectives, custodians of the Nexus Array." Chen stepped forward, her voice steady despite the extraordinary circumstances. "I'm Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Exploration Vessel Horizon. We come in peace and in the spirit of scientific discovery." The Synchro Collective's form rippled, as if pleased. "Ah, explorers, how delightful. It has been eons since we last encountered beings from outside our galactic cluster." Zira couldn't contain her excitement. "Your technology, it's incredible. Are you manipulating quantum superposition on a macroscopic scale?" "Indeed, young one," the entity replied. "We exist in a state of quantum entanglement with the very fabric of space-time, but we sense that you have brushed against the cosmic strings. Tell us, how did beings of your limited dimension achieve such a feat?" As Zira launched into an explanation of their cosmic string adventure, Wei whispered to Chen, "Captain, I'm picking up some bizarre readings. According to my instruments, we're simultaneously in multiple locations across the galaxy." Chen nodded, her mind racing. "Keep monitoring. We need to understand what we're dealing with here." The Synchro Collective listened intently to Zira's account. When she finished, it seemed to vibrate with excitement. "Fascinating. Your accidental discovery may hold the key to solving the greatest crisis our civilization has ever faced." "Crisis?" Chen asked, her interest piqued. "How can we help?" The chamber around them shifted, revealing a holographic display of the galaxy. Vast sections were highlighted in pulsing red. "We call it the entropy cascade," the collective explained. "A wave of accelerated entropy is sweeping through the galaxy, breaking down the very laws of physics. Our Dyson swarm and Nexus array are all that stand between order and chaos." Sergeant Jackson let out a low whistle. "And here I thought we had problems back in the Milky Way." "If unchecked," the collective continued, "the cascade will consume not just this galaxy, but all of reality. Your method of cosmic string manipulation might allow us to create a buffer zone, a quantum firewall to halt the cascade's advance." Chen exchanged glances with her crew. The stakes had just been raised to universal proportions. "We'll do whatever we can to help," she said. "But we'll need to understand more about this entropy cascade and your technology." The Synchro Collective's form coalesced into a more humanoid shape. "Then let us merge minds, Captain. A direct neural interface will allow us to share knowledge far more efficiently than mere words." "Now hold on," Jackson started to protest, but Chen held up a hand to silence him. "I'll do it," she said firmly. "The fate of the universe is at stake. We can't afford to waste time." As Chen stepped forward, Zira felt a mixture of admiration and concern for the human captain's bravery. The alien scientist had never encountered a species so willing to take risks in the pursuit of knowledge and the greater good. The Synchro Collective reached out, its form shimmering like a heat mirage. As its hand touched Chen's forehead, arcs of energy danced across her skin. Her eyes went wide, glowing with an inner light as the knowledge of an ancient, hyper-advanced civilization flooded her mind. For what seemed like an eternity, Chen stood frozen in place, her body rigid. Then, with a gasp, she stumbled backward. Jackson caught her before she could fall. "Captain," Zira exclaimed, "are you all right?" Chen blinked rapidly, her eyes gradually focusing on her surroundings. When she spoke, her voice was filled with awe and determination. I understand now. The entropy cascade, the quantum nature of the universe, it's all connected, and I know how we can stop it." She turned to her crew, a fire burning in her eyes. "We're going to build a quantum nexus engine. It's a device that can manipulate the fundamental forces of the universe on a cosmic scale. With it, we can rewrite the laws of physics themselves and halt the entropy cascade. Wei's jaw dropped. Captain, that's beyond anything we've ever attempted. It would take years, maybe decades, to even begin to understand the principles involved. Chen smiled, tapping her temple. Not anymore. I've got the knowledge of the synchro collectors in my head. We can do this, but we'll need to work fast. The cascade is approaching, and we've got a universe to save. The synchro collective's form pulsed with approval. We will provide you with all the resources at our disposal. The fate of all existence rests in your hands. As the crew of the Horizon began to grapple with the monumental task ahead of them, Zira felt a sense of destiny wash over her. She had left her home as a simple xenobiologist, and now she stood at the precipice of the greatest scientific endeavor in the history of two galaxies. The quantum nexus engine would push the boundaries of what was possible, blending human ingenuity, alien insight, and the cosmic wisdom of the synchro collectives. It was a race against time, with the very fabric of reality hanging in the balance. As Chen began outlining their plan of action, Zira knew that the next phase of their journey would challenge them in ways they could scarcely imagine. But looking at the determination on the faces of her human companions, she felt a surge of hope. If any beings in the universe could pull off this impossible task, it was this remarkable crew. The countdown to save reality had begun. Architects of reality. The Horizon's engineering bay had been transformed into a workshop that defied comprehension. Holographic schematics of impossible geometries floated in the air, while pieces of machinery that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously hummed with otherworldly energy. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the center of this controlled chaos, her eyes glowing with an eerie blue light, a side effect of the synchro collective's knowledge now residing in her mind. She spoke rapidly, her words a mix of complex equations and esoteric concepts that pushed the boundaries of known science. The quantum flux capacitor needs to be calibrated to the resonant frequency of the cosmic strings, Chen explained, her hands manipulating a device that seemed to phase in and out of existence. Once we achieve harmonic convergence, we can begin weaving the fabric of spacetime itself. Dr. Zero watched in amazement as the humans worked tirelessly on the quantum nexus engine. Her own advanced knowledge paled in comparison to the cosmic insights Chen now possessed. Captain, she chittered excitedly, I believe I've solved the problem of containing the chronotom particles within a closed time-like curve. Chen grinned, the expression somehow both familiar and alien on her transformed features. Excellent work, Zira. That's the missing piece we needed for the temporal stabilization matrix. Sergeant Jackson, who had taken on the role of security chief for the project, shook his head in bewilderment. I understood about 3 words of that, but as long as it helps us save the universe, I'm all for it. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. Lai Wei's voice came over the intercom, panic evident in his tone. Captain, the entropy cascade has accelerated. It's breaching the outermost defenses of the Dyson swarm. Chen's expression hardened. We're out of time. We need to activate the engine now, ready or not. But Captain, Zira protested, we haven't run a full diagnostic yet. The consequences of an uncontrolled activation could be catastrophic. The consequences of doing nothing are guaranteed to be catastrophic, Chen countered. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. That's the human way. With a nod to her crew, Chen initiated the startup sequence for the quantum nexus engine. The device, a swirling vortex of energy and matter that hurt the eyes to look at directly, began to pulse with increasing intensity. As the engine powered up, reality itself seemed to waver. The walls of the horizon became translucent, offering glimpses of other times and places. Crew members found themselves momentarily out of sync with each other, their movements leaving trails of quantum echoes. Brace yourselves, Chen shouted as she made the final adjustments. We're about to rewrite the laws of physics. With a blinding flash and a sound that could only be described as the universe itself gasping, the quantum nexus engine activated. A wave of energy exploded outward from the horizon, rippling across the galaxy faster than the speed of light. As the wave passed, it left behind a changed reality. The encroaching darkness of the entropy cascade was pushed back, replaced by swirling nebulae of newborn stars and vibrant cosmic energy. On the bridge of the horizon, the crew watched in awe as the galaxy was reborn before their eyes. Entire solar systems were transformed, planets shifted their orbits, and new forms of matter coalesced into being. "My God," Y whispered, his eyes wide as he studied the sensor readings. "We didn't just stop the cascade. We've initiated a new era of cosmic evolution. The fundamental constants of the universe have been altered." Chen nodded, her glowing eyes taking in the transformed galaxy. The synchro collectives were right. The only way to stop the death of the universe was to give it a new birth. As the crew marveled at their handiwork, a new challenge presented itself. A shimmering portal opened on the bridge, and through it stepped beings of pure energy, the cosmic arbiters, guardians of the multiverse. Sarah Chen of Earth, the lead arbiter intoned, its voice resonating on multiple planes of existence. "You and your crew have committed an act of unparalleled cosmic significance. The repercussions of your actions will echo across all realities." Chen stood tall, unfazed by the cosmic entities before her. "We did what was necessary to save our universe. I stand by our decision." The arbiter's form flickered, as if considering her words. "Perhaps, but now you must face the consequences. The power you have wielded has drawn the attention of forces beyond your comprehension. The multiversal conclave demands your presence to stand trial for your actions." Before anyone could react, the arbiters enveloped the entire crew in fields of energy. The horizon, its crew, and even Dr. Zira found themselves transported to a realm beyond space and time, the nexus of all realities. As they materialized in a vast cosmic courtroom, surrounded by representatives of countless universes and dimensions, Chen realized that their greatest challenge was yet to come. They had saved their universe, but now they would have to justify their actions to the very architects of reality itself. The fate of not just their universe, but all of existence, hung in the balance. And as Chen looked at her crew, humans and aliens united in their quest for knowledge and survival, she knew that they would face this cosmic trial together, with the same determination and ingenuity that had brought them this far. The trial of the Horizon's crew was about to begin, and the verdict would determine the future of the entire multiverse. The singularity confluence, the cosmic courtroom of the multiversal conclave, defied mortal comprehension. Beings of pure thought debated alongside creatures of crystallized time. Entire galaxies served as jury members, their collective consciousnesses passing judgment on the crew of the Horizon. Captain Sarah Chen stood before this impossible assembly, her humanity a stark contrast to the cosmic entities surrounding her. The knowledge of the synchro collectives still burned in her mind, giving her a unique perspective on the proceedings. "Humans of Earth," boomed the voice of the conclave, a chorus of countless realities speaking as one, "you stand accused of unauthorized manipulation of fundamental cosmic constants. How do you plead?" Chen stepped forward, her voice steady despite the overwhelming nature of her surroundings. "We plead necessity. Our actions saved not just our universe, but potentially the entire multiverse from the entropy cascade." A murmur rippled through the assembled entities. Dr. Zira, standing beside Chen, marveled at the humans' unwavering courage in the face of cosmic judgment. Suddenly, a new presence made itself known. A being of pure mathematical abstraction materialized in the center of the courtroom. "I am the Omega Point," it declared, its voice the sound of equations solving themselves. "The ultimate destiny of all intelligent life in the universe." The conclave fell silent, awed by the appearance of this legendary entity. "The actions of these humans," the Omega Point continued, "have accelerated the evolution of their universe towards me. In doing so, they have created a nexus point of infinite possibilities." As if to illustrate its point, the air around the Horizon's crew began to shimmer. Alternate versions of themselves appeared and disappeared in rapid succession. Chen saw glimpses of realities where they had failed, where the entropy cascade had won, and where entirely different paths had been taken. Behold, the omega point intoned, the singularity confluence. The cosmic courtroom transformed, expanding to encompass the entirety of creation. The crew of the horizon found themselves at the center of a swirling maelstrom of realities, each one a potential future branching out from their actions. Holy fractal dimensions, Wei gasped, his scientific mind struggling to process the infinite possibilities surrounding them. The voice of the conclave spoke again, this time with a note of uncertainty. The singularity confluence was prophesied, but not for eons hence. These humans have altered the very trajectory of evolution across all realities. Chen seized the moment. Members of the conclave, we didn't just save our universe. We've opened the door to a new era of cosmic evolution. The quantum nexus engine doesn't just rewrite physics, it allows for the conscious direction of reality itself. As if in response to her words, the singularity confluence began to coalesce. Streams of possibility merged and separated, forming a new structure of reality that transcended traditional concepts of space and time. The omega point's form pulsed with approval. The humans speak truth. They have become the catalyst for the next phase of universal evolution. The question now is, what shall we become? Sergeant Jackson, ever the pragmatist, spoke up. Hold on. Are you saying we get to choose the future of everything? Indeed, the omega point replied. The singularity confluence allows for the conscious manipulation of reality at its most fundamental level. The future of all existence now lies in the choices you make. The weight of this responsibility settled over the Horizon's crew. They had set out on a mission of exploration and found themselves architects of reality itself. Zira, her alien perspective providing unique insight, stepped forward. Perhaps the choice need not be made by us alone. The confluent shows us infinite possibilities. Why not allow consciousness itself, across all realities, to guide our path? Chen nodded, a smile spreading across her face. A democratic universe. I like it. We set the stage, but we let the combined will of all sentient beings shape the future. The conclave erupted in a flurry of discussion, the very fabric of reality rippling with the intensity of the debate. Finally, the voice spoke once more. It is decided. The humans and their allies have proven themselves worthy stewards of cosmic evolution. The singularity confluence shall remain open, a bridge between all possible realities. Through it, the collective consciousness of all beings shall guide the path of existence. With a gesture, the omega point transformed the quantum nexus engine into something new. Behold the reality loom. With it, you shall weave the threads of possibility into the tapestry of the future. As the crew of the Horizon took control of the reality loom, they felt the weight of infinite possibilities at their fingertips. They had started their journey as explorers and now stood as the guardians of all existence. So, Jackson said, a hint of his old humor returning, what's our first order of business as the caretakers of reality? Chen looked out at the swirling cosmos, a universe of infinite potential stretching before them. We explore, she said simply. We learn, we grow. And we ensure that every voice, every consciousness across the multiverse has a say in our collective destiny. As the Horizon prepared to embark on its new mission, Zira felt a sense of boundless optimism. She had found not just allies in these humans, but kindred spirits in the quest for knowledge and progress. Together, they would write the next chapter in the story of existence itself. The adventure was only just beginning.